Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I am so excited to talk about OpenAI's newest model release, O1. So O1 is a reasoning model, meaning it will think before answering your questions. Okay, so OpenAI released two models. There's the O1 preview, which is to preview new features in the O1 model, and the O1 mini, which is smaller and faster model trained on similar framework as O1. So in today's video, I'd like to show you how we can use this new model O1 to help us in our Power BI development projects. Okay, so we're going to use the Power BI workflow as a guide on what we need to work on. So firstly, as you all know, we start off with the planning phase. Okay, so in the planning phase you have to identify at least or start to design your star schema, right? So identify your fact and dimension tables. So we're going to ask O1 to help us with that. Okay, next up we're going to go and get the data. We've got 5 steps that we'll be sort of going through, and that involves working in Power BI Desktop. So in getting the data, we'll also ask O1 to help us to create an M code to automatically import our file, okay, because the source data set that I've prepared for us for this video is a CSV file. So we'll see how the model can help us to generate quickly the M code for that. Any transformation that needs to be done, it will also do that for us. And then since we've already identified the fact and dimension tables with the help of O1, you'll see that it will also give us really good advice on how we can create the relationships here to implement our star schema design. Then moving over to the calculation or the calculate phase, that's where we're going to create our DEX measures. Okay, once again, we'll see how the model is able to help us with that. And finally, in the visualization phase, we'll see also how it can sort of give us advice on the type of visuals that we need to add to our report based on the data that we need or want to show. Okay, so we'll be using the Power BI workflow as a guide, and we have O1 or the new model there to help us, O1. So let's get started and see how this will go. Okay, so let's start with the planning phase, right? So we need to design our star schema, and in doing that, we need to identify our fact and dimension tables. So the data set that I have here is a CSV file of business financial data. And right now in the O1 model, it doesn't accept, or we cannot upload files, and it can't browse the internet. Okay, so that's all right, because what I'll do is I'll just copy the first few lines of our data set here, and then it can work using this information. So I'll just copy that, going over to the O1 model. So I've selected the O1 preview model. So I'll say, can you help me identify the fact and dimension tables from this data set, please? Okay, and then I'll just paste it in like that, and off it goes. Okay, as you can see, it's thinking. It's going to work through some sort of thinking process. So let me just click that. Oh, that was fast. Okay, so it thought for 10 seconds. Like I mentioned earlier, this model is a reasoning model, right? It will think through the question that's being asked, and then come up with some sort of thought process or some sort of steps on how to answer our questions. Okay, so these are the steps that it went through to answering our questions, question. So firstly, it identified the table rows. Identifying table rows, I'm noting that the fact tables include measures and foreign keys, while dimension tables feature attributes and descriptive data. So next it noted pulling together data set columns. So I'm piecing together which column should go into the fact table, focusing on numeric measures and foreign keys to dimensions. Dimension tables will house descriptive attributes. Okay, so basically it's identifying the fact and dimension tables, the process like we go through to doing that. So that's really awesome. Like I didn't see this type of sort of breakdown of the problem in the other model, the 4O model. So it's actually doing, I mean, this model is really good. I'm really amazed with the results. So yeah, so this is the thought process. It identified the table rows, pulling together the dataset columns, identifying the measures dimensions. That's awesome. It organized the columns, clarifying the dimensions and all that. So once it finished working through its thought process, this is the result that we have, right? So understanding fact and dimension tables, just giving us a recap of what fact and dimension tables are. Okay, and then it went on to actually identifying our giving the data set columns. Okay, that's fine, that's what we have in the file. And then in this part here, it went through it has now gone through and identified our fact and dimension tables. Okay, so the fact tables, I am quite happy with what it has identified. So we have the foreign keys, which are our date column, business line, expense subgroup, the revenue expense group, and the revenue or expense key. That is very good. I would have come up with the same columns as well, identified them as well, the same columns, and the amount column is our measure in that fact table. Okay, that's awesome. It went on to explaining, giving us an explanation of the answer that it gave. So the fact table contains the amount as the measure and the foreign keys to the dimension tables. Okay, just giving us a description of the table. And next, it went on to identifying our dimension tables. Okay, so we've got our date dimension, which is great, our business line expense subgroup, revenue. That's exactly what is in the data set. So I'm quite happy with that reply. So, and then it went on to visualization of the schema. Okay, so we've got our fact tables in the middle, and then we've got our dimension tables around it. Okay, and then a little brief summary of that. Oh, I've got just a little problem with my network connection here, but generally the response, I'm really happy with the response. So from this response, I've already identified, or it has helped me identify my fact and dimension tables for my star schema. Right, so that's done. That's just awesome. The quality of reply that it is given is it is of much better quality than the 4O model. Okay, so this model is quite good. It's quite good. I mean, this is a very simple data set, but just looking at the quality of reply that I'm getting here, I'm very pleased with the results so far. Okay, I'm going to end here, and in the next video we're going to look at how we will import this data into Power BI, and we will ask you to generate the M code for us. Okay, so let me know in the comments section below if you've started using this new model, and I'll talk to you in the next video where we will work through the entire Power BI workflow using the O1 model. This is exciting times. I'm excited. I hope you are too, and I'll catch you in the next video.